first question, Brittany, is can you please just summarize your resume in about 3 to 5 minutes? And can you do this from memory? And also, if you do have any teaching experience, which is not required, but if you do, can you please highlight those as well? Okay?
Yes. Okay. I graduated from California State University, Chico, last May 2010. I graduated in 3 years, which is usually a 4-year program, with my bachelor's degree in communication studies with a minor in criminal justice. Then for the past, like 5 or 6 years, I've been a nanny for this family in San Ramon, California, where I take care of their 3 kids. They're now 12, 10, and 4, and I started before the little one was born. And before that, I worked at Cold Stone Creamery, which is like an ice cream place, where I was actually assistant manager. I did that for a few years in high school. And before that, I worked as a secretary at 2 places, at Bay Area Sprinkler Repair and Avalon Dental. But that was when I was in my early teens. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. All right, good. Thank you. All right, next question. Now, if you do come to Korea, what would be your personal and professional goals in Korea?
Well, I love working with children, and that's like my joy. I know, just being around them. And I feel like it'd be a really good experience for me, and I think I could learn a lot of skills that I wouldn't be able to learn anywhere else. And yeah.
Good. Thank you. Next question. Now, in your past positions, have you ever had to do anything outside of the scope of your responsibilities?
Yes, I always go, over and top what I'm supposed to do. Like with the nannying, instead of just watching the kids and like just playing with them, I take them places, helping them with their homework, even when not asked. Did like chores around the house, like cleaned up, even like messes that were already there that the parents had made, done dishes and laundry. So I always go above and beyond what is usually asked of me.
Okay, good. Thank you. Next question. In school, was there a professor that you really enjoyed having, and can you tell me why?
I actually had this one professor, and her name was Professor Gerberts, and she was actually probably my hardest teacher, but I liked her because she was very challenging, because she actually made me stay up on all my homework and everything else, and if you couldn't just cram for the exam, you had to work days on it. So I'd probably say she was probably the best teacher, because she really made me reach my the farthest I could go in life.
Okay, good. Thank you. And tell me, as a nanny, what was your most difficult part of being a nanny?
Probably when the kids would misbehave. I didn't like disciplining them, but I knew that I had to show authority, and so I would have to keep them under control. So but I was able to do that quite fine. But it's just, when someone's not your parent, sometimes kids feel like they don't have to listen to you as much.
Yes.
But I was able to, have them respect me, and that was one of the biggest joys that I obtained from nannying, is that they got this respect for me that I have never felt before.
And how old were the kids, and how many?
There's 3 of them. They're currently 12, 10, and 4.
Oh.
But I've been babysitting them for years, so before the little one was born.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's a large range, so it's difficult to find activities for the 10, 4-year-olds, because it's one likes to go to the park, but the other one likes to go play video games and stuff. So.
Well, yes, that's true. I've actually done some babysitting myself in the past with 4 kids at one time. That was actually very difficult. Yes, just for 1 week though.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next question. So, suppose you were the teacher and you had a group of, let's say, fifth grade, maybe about 12 years old,
Okay.
students in your classroom, and you need to explain the difference between increase and decrease. How would you do it?
So, okay, if something increases, it goes up. And if something decreases, it goes down. And I would say, let's see how to explain it. Um, let's say you're given, you know, some money. Let's say you're given $5. If it goes up to $10, that's an increase. But if it goes down to $2, that's a decrease.
Oh,
So
good.
that's how I explain it.
Good, thank you. Simply put. Very well done. Next question. How would you explain the difference between fun and funny?
Well, if something's fun, it's kind of like an activity, like something that's like fun would be maybe watching your favorite sport on television is fun, or going outside and playing on the playground is fun. But funny is someone's like a trait that someone has, like someone who's funny, someone who like laughs and is humorous. That would be funny compared to fun.
Thank you. Good. Next question. How would you explain a merry-go-round to the students, but using only words?
So using the merry-go-round. Okay, so it's this thing with usually animals. They have like horses, and it goes just around or goes around and around in a circle, and usually the animals go up and down, and it kind of just goes usually in the clockwise, just circles around. I guess that's how I explain it.
Good, thank you. Next question, one more description type of question. How would you describe the difference between bored and boring?
So bored is okay. So I should start with boring. If you're boring, that's the type of like person that you are. Like so, if you're boring, let's see how to say this. It's a attribute. So if I'm a boring person, I am very dull and not very outgoing. I'm just kind of bland. But if I'm bored, it's kind of an action. So if I'm bored, I am not like I'm just sitting around the house, not doing much, and I'm just plain bored. So that's how I explain it.
Good, thank you. All right. Next set of questions deal with common situations that occur in the classroom. You do not need teaching experience to answer these questions.
Okay.
I just want to see how, I guess the steps that you would take for certain situations, okay?
Okay.
First question, suppose one of your students lacks the motivation to do their homework or maybe does poorly on their review test. How would you motivate the student?
I would probably talk to them after class, so that way they wouldn't feel like I was singling them out in front of the entire room. Mm-hmm. And I would just let them know like how important it is to do well on tests, because if not, they're not going to be able to make it to the next grade. Mm-hmm. And just really, express how important grades are, because, if they don't do well, then they're not going to be able to succeed. And kind of maybe offer them some extra help if they need it. And so that way, you can gain that connection. Because sometimes if you have a better connection with the student, they'll be able to, they will want to do better in school. They feel like you care.
Good, thank you. All right, next question. Suppose you ask a student to answer a question, but the student doesn't say anything. How would you get the student to speak in the classroom?
I would ask them first, very nicely, like, say please, like, would you please answer the question? It's very important that you would answer. And then, if they wouldn't answer, maybe tell them they would have to go see the principal or the head person. Mm-hmm. Because, discipline is very important. They should respect the teacher. So if they're not going to, respect me, then they would have to go see a higher authority.
Okay,
and then,
good.
yeah.
Good. Now, next question. Suppose one of your students throws an eraser across the classroom, what would you do?
I would first, scold them and tell them that this is not acceptable and that this is not behavior that you do in a classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would, I don't know what type of rules are, but I would probably send them to to the principal or I don't know the dean, whoever's to take care of it, and maybe like have a talk with their parent if that's acceptable or something like that.
Okay, good. Thank you. Good job. Well done.